Hello, in this lesson we are going to cover how to use Bitcoin. So you've learned a lot about Bitcoin, about cryptocurrency, about blockchain, but ultimately if you can't use it or you don't know how to use it, it's effectively useless to you as an individual. So one of the first things you want to do is create an exchange account. So you want to create an account on an exchange. There are plenty of exchanges out there, from Coinbase to ccar.io to blockchain.info. There's a plethora out there for all your needs, whether you want to do small transactions or large transactions. Check them out. There's plenty out there, and it will also act as a wallet as well. Essentially, it'll have wallet-like functionality. It is going to be centralized, so you can alternatively create your own wallet. The whole purpose of this video is to show the easiest way possible to start using Bitcoin and essentially other cryptocurrencies to essentially replace a lot of the daily things you do with conventional fiat currency, whether that's physical or digital. Ultimately, this will replace the digital aspect of it. So once you've got an exchange account, which is the equivalent of a bank account essentially, so that's the best way to think of it. You're creating a cryptocurrency, a Bitcoin bank account. Then you want to create or retrieve your public address, and you can think of the public address like an email. For example, an email is unique. It's unique to whoever runs and has that email address. So if I have the email address, I don't know, iamawesome@hotmail.com, that's my email address. Nobody else will have that email address. So it's a unique ID that will facilitate the public transaction. So if I wanted somebody to send me some Bitcoin, I would share my public address with them and they would be able to send something to it. So you want a public address so you can actually use it with other users on the network. Next, what you want to do is buy some Bitcoin. Buy some Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies using normal fiat currency, and you would ultimately do this via the exchange, which would facilitate the process of, well, exchanging one currency for another. That can be a fiat currency, or it can be one cryptocurrency to another cryptocurrency, but at the start you'll most likely be exchanging fiat to a cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin. The next thing you can do, and this is something that I find a lot of people don't know about, is you can apply for a Bitcoin debit card. And there's actually a lot of services out there. They all have their own different features, the same way different bank accounts have their own features regarding debit cards, different transaction fees and different other essential benefits as well. But you can get a debit card which will allow you to use your Bitcoins in any outlet or any place online or in the real world that accepts a regular debit card, which there are plenty of places around the world that accept debit cards. I pretty much only use debit cards. I very rarely use cash. So from an actual day-to-day standpoint, you could actually replace your fiat currency purely with cryptocurrency. So applying for a Bitcoin debit card is definitely something that you should be looking into. And like I was saying, there's plenty of services out there to help facilitate this. So that will get you up to scratch and up to speed with the way you normally do your banking. But let's talk about some of the extra features that you can do with cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, but that aren't available in fiat currencies. So I would say get some mining software. Smart Miner is one that I like because it allows you to mine multiple different currency types, not just Bitcoin. It could be Ethereum, Litecoin, and plenty of other coins, and you'll actually assess the difficulty and the hash rate at any given time, and you'll mine the coin that's the most effective. So get mining software and mine for more. Obviously, depending on how serious you are about mining, you might actually build your own mining computers that are specific for mining. But if you're just looking into it, it's still something worth taking a look at, even if you're a beginner. You'll learn a lot about the cryptocurrency landscape. Obviously, we've said you can apply for a Bitcoin debit card, which ultimately allows you to use Bitcoin the way you would use conventional fiat currency. But I would also recommend finding online and offline retailers that accept Bitcoin. Because if you can avoid the debit card, which has its own fees, it'll be more beneficial to you because you're avoiding fees. So finding online, offline retailers that accept Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency of your choice. And you might be thinking, what is offline and online? Online is websites, so services that you would just be able to visit in your browser. Offline are physical stores, and there are physical stores out there. If you just Google it, you'll be able to find even local ATMs and physical stores that facilitate the usage of cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. So there's a couple of other things that you could look into as well in terms of using Bitcoin, and that is, as you can see, we're going from very simple stuff that essentially facilitates the normal economic activities but using Bitcoin instead of fiat currency to more specific applications of cryptocurrencies, and now we're going to even more complex applications. So you could trade Bitcoin, and there have been a lot of people that have made millions of trading Bitcoin. And what you can do is make money from the difference. Obviously, this is very risky, and you need to do a lot of research in the way the markets are and the way you think they'll be going, and they are very volatile at the moment. But it's essentially the equivalent of trading stocks and bonds and shares. So if you're interested in that, or you already have a grasp of that, check out trading cryptocurrencies, because if you can master this, there's a lot of money to be made due to all of that volatility. So we've got the conventional stuff, we've got a bit of mining, we've got the trading aspect of Bitcoin, and the last thing, and I'll say this is the most important that you need to actively do, and that's study blockchain, which is the underlying technologies of Bitcoin and many other cryptocurrencies, and cryptocurrencies in general. That is the best thing. So do all those other things like create an exchange account, which is the equivalent of a bank account, get a public address, find retailers that accept the cryptocurrency of your choice, apply for a debit card, look into it, but ultimately study it so you can learn about the new advancements in it, you can learn about the market, what areas are working, because ultimately all the other things that I've mentioned in this video, you'll learn a lot of it just by studying blockchain and cryptocurrencies. So you'll learn about trading, you'll learn about the retailers, and all the other stuff. So that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and feel free to go through the video again to check out any concepts that you didn't quite grasp. And as usual, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next lesson.